Okay, in this video we're going to look at scientific notation. And scientific notation is where you're asked to write your answer in the form a by 10 to the power of n, and you'll be told that a has to be between 1 and 10, but less than 10 and greater than or equal to 1. So what does this actually mean in real terms? Well, if we take the number 5,700, you need to put a decimal point in to make the number between 1 and 10. Very simply, you can see it's going to go between the 5 and the 7. Now, what have we done to this number? The decimal point is always at the end. We've moved it in 1, 2, 3 places. So that's like dividing by 1,000. So to not change the number's value, we would have to multiply by 1,000. So 5.7 by 1,000 is 5,700. And you can see here that this 10 to the power of n is where the 1,000 will change into 10 to the power of 3. So we just count the decimals, and that's going to be n, the power of 10. So in this case, here's my decimal. I'm going in 3 places to here. I'm going to put my decimal between the 1 and the 8. So I'm going in another 2. So this number is 1.89 by 10 to the power of 5. We've moved in 5 places. And this is so we can write really large numbers or really small numbers in simpler form. My decimal is here. It needs to be here, 2.02. So I'm going in 3, 6, 7, 8. So 2.02 multiplied by 10 to the power of 8. You can check in your calculator that gives 202 million. Now I've here, my decimal's at the end. I need to put it between 7 and 5 to give me a number between 1 and 10. I'm going in 3. I'm going in 6 this time. 7 point. Now we don't have to write out the whole number. We'll write the 2 decimal places this time. You could be asked to write the 1 or 2 significant figures or a version of. So 7.58 by 10 to the power of 6. Now, these decimal numbers in scientific notation, I'm going to still have to write it in the same form. A by 10 to the power of n. So let's see how we go about that. And a has to be between 1 and 10. So my decimal needs to be this side of the 5. So I'm moving it 2 places. So 5 by 10 to the power of, now if I multiply by 10 to the power of 2, that's 100. So that'll give me 500, which is not the same number. So you may think about negative indices for these ones. So this is multiplying by 5 times 1 over 100, or 5 times 1 over 10 squared, back to our laws of indices. So 5 times 1 over 100 is equal to 5 over 100, which is equal to 0.05. So that's where the negative indice is coming from. We're making these numbers smaller by multiplying by a negative indice. So initially we're going to make it bigger. 5.2. How many decimals am I moving in? 1, 2, 3. So 5.2 by 10 to the power of minus 3. How many am I moving here? I'm going to put it between the 1 and the 7. I'm going in 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.72 multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 4. In this one, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So I'm going to go in this into here, 1.4. So I'm going 5 zeros and an extra 1. So I'm going 6 places this time. 1.4 by 10 to the power of minus 6. So apply these rules now to some of the questions in your textbooks and master scientific notation. We're either multiplying by 10 to the power of positive n or 10 to the power of negative n, depending on the direction that we go. We go to the right, it's negative n, but in the previous section we go to the left, it's plus n. So learn these rules off, practice these questions again, and move on to the next video.